And we win it! Let's go, India!
Come on!
How much ever we clap, it is not enough because today we have seen something very, very special indeed at Chepauk.
Yes.
Because you were 2 runs and 3 wickets down.
It was basically, you picked up right where you left off from 2019.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you had 2 players in Virat Kohli and more importantly, KL Rahul for this particular kind of a situation. And
Incredible knock from
boy
KL
did
Rahul.
they deliver. And Virat Kohli 85 of very good runs, but KL Rahul's unbelievable 97, I think that was the difference maker.
Absolutely.
When has 197 become a difference maker? 2011 World Cup final where
Gautam Gambhir
hit that same 97.
Was it 97 or 93?
No, it was
97.
3 runs short.
Oh,
MS Dhoni hit 91 in that.
Ah.
So that is why KL Rahul's masterclass of a 97 combined with Virat Kohli, the chase master yet again, 85 of the finest runs, and Australia have suffered a 6-wicket loss to India.
That's how they've started the World Cup. And actually, to be fair, look, we knew it was always going to be advantage India, but let's be very frank, Australia had everyone ready for a fright when they had them 2 for 3.
yeah. But also, Sunil Gavaskar ji was here in the mid innings and he said that they would win by 7 wickets. That's so close.
Okay, so close. 6 wickets, but
So
yeah, he was
close.
very close. And
Yeah.
see, this has now done 2 before we come to the innings and all that, and we have a certain individual to thank also very much. The whole of India will be thanking him for that matter. This is the first loss ever for Australia in Chepauk.
Oh.
When it comes to
my
World
God.
Cups. First time ever they have lost in
And
Chepauk.
how many have they played?
They have played 2 in the past, 1987
2?
and 1996.
Well, that's not a lot of matches.
But you're playing here for the past 36 years and you've lost for the first time ever after 36 years.
But in World Cups, na?
World Cups, I'm saying.
Even, and by the way,
Overall, also they have a good record in Chepauk.
exactly, that's the thing. Tie test happened here.
Yeah.
Recently, the last ODI that they played against India in Chepauk won.
Yeah.
So they do have a good
17
record.
also, it was a pretty close game in Chepauk. for
Oh,
that
yes,
matter. 17
yes,
also.
correct.
So, and believe it or not, Virat Kohli's 85, it is the first time ever in history of World Cups that he's hit a 50 in the second innings as India and won. First time ever. Successful chase, Virat has hit a 50 plus, India have won.
First time.
Virat has never hit a 50 in a successful chase in a World
Every
Cup.
other, this thing has come in a first inning.
First innings.
Yeah, but look at Virat Kohli proved today why he's called the chase master. Of course, it wasn't a very, intense innings or it wasn't a very fast innings, but then he, stuck on the crease when it most mattered.
Yeah, because you knew that all things said and done, even though it was, it wasn't an easy pitch to bat
It
on.
wasn't.
However, also that one, you had the target in front of you, which does make things a lot easier in today's day and age. Second thing, towards the end of like the 20th or so over, by God were the Aussies struggling with dew.
Yeah,
It was bad.
It was bad. The dew was real, and it was very surprising considering this time you don't get that much dew. But again, climate change.
And not just that,
It must be very humid.
Yeah, it must be because of the humidity.
Yeah.
Remember, we were expecting rain.
And
a small burst of it.
For 2 days, just brief bursts you had rain in Chennai.
So I think it's because of that you had humidity. Otherwise, you're right. October normally is not a time you see humidity.
If it's rain, then you don't get that much of humidity. Yeah, and also the dew factor also. So imagine how monumental this is because first match of a World Cup, you would always want to get going. And let us make one thing clear here. When Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan, Shreyas Iyer, all 3 fell for no score, India were 2 for 3. And from that position to win, it's a testament to, Virat Kohli's praises can be later, but you have to praise KL Rahul.
Yeah.
I think now this is 3 match-winning knocks that he's gotten for you over the past calendar year in ODI cricket. 2 of which incidentally have come against Australia.
And very impactful knock.
Yes.
73 that happened in Mumbai, that was very important. 60 against Sri Lanka and
Correct.
Kolkata on a very similar seeming kind of a wicket. This was not seeming as such, it was a sluggish wicket. Here, this 97, it ensured that even Virat Kohli could get that confidence to play well.
Yeah.
And all the people, the unnecessary hatred and criticism that was directed at KL Rahul, I only want to tell them that please look at the broader context. Sometimes what happens to fans is that they just have a tunnel vision. I mean, see, they can only see this particular bat. Beyond this, they would not want to see anything that is ahead of them.
No,
And
but
that is
let's
the case
say
with
that-
KL.
No, it's not. It's not. We've had this discussion before, and with KL, the criticism was warranted for his T20I form. T20I. He had been struggling for a long time, and for Tests. Because even in Tests, where is it that he struggled the most?
The
In
Indian
Bangladesh.
cricket fan was mixing formats.
No,
Of
he was
course.
in poor form last year in Tests and in T20Is, and he rightfully got panned for it.
No, you're not getting my point. The point I'm trying to say is that if you have seen his ODI numbers, they wouldn't be doing all this. They were mixing, T20 is bad, his ODI form is also bad. When he got injured, don't pick him at all.
That's fair, because again,
That's
his
the
form
thing.
in ODIs was never really in that much doubt. And to be fair, whatever else said and done, ironically, despite actually being an opener or starting his career as an opener, he's now pretty much solidified as a mainstay in the middle order
order.
for India.
That criticism, even in ODIs, came until the Bangladesh series also. Remember, 73, then he had
Yeah.
2 failures. After that, they're saying, drop him entirely from all formats. That is where my criticism for the myopic Indian cricket fan is. Look at the broader picture, don't mix formats. Yes, T20s and Tests, he was woeful. Totally agreed. But don't mix that into the ODI format also, where he's hit you 3 match-winning knocks, 2 against top opponents like Australia. That is the reason why. And every time an injury would happen, you would wish, let someone else get the chance. Remember, it was between KL Rahul, Ishan Kishan, and Sanju Samson. That debate remained until for the past 1 year.
The Sanju Samson dropped out of it, but Kishan actually, that Pakistan knock,
That Pakistan knock.
Asia Cup, first
Exactly. And remember, even Rohit Sharma has gone out of his way and stated,
Yeah.
not easy to come back from injuries. Here with KL, his luck was incredibly bad because he would have a wave of injuries. It just wasn't one injury alone.
There was multiple injuries.
Now he had that niggle after he had recovered from that thigh injury. Then you said, maybe his World Cup is jinxed, it's not happening. But now 97 runs. And I hope the criticism for KL Rahul in ODIs or whatever it is, it stops. The debate has ended at this point in
I think
time.
there was no debate even before this, because again, the fact that he's starting this match meant you knew there was no debate. I mean, look,
Prior to this, I'm saying.
even prior to this, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you the only reason there was a little bit of doubt. 2 reasons. One, because he had that setback after a setback, which is commonplace with him. Unfortunately, it's not something you can help. That is something that is down to a lot of factors. It could be, you could question the NCA. Sometimes people's genetic makeup is like that also, that recovering from injuries becomes tougher. And when you've had as many as he has had, it does take a toll on your body. The other reason being was, of course, that Ishan Kishan actually grabbed his chance. Can't take that from him. Today he was woeful. But if you're looking at it overall, that one chance that he got, and everyone had doubts with him. The third reason being was, you said, okay, with Ishan, he's been getting runs consistently. With KL, is he going to be rusty? One bit of doubt was answered when he came back in that fourth game against Pakistan. Played that blinder of a knock. Then you're like, okay, no, the guy is not rusty. Form is still there. He's not forgotten how to play in ODIs. At that point, you're like, no, Kishan, unfortunate, but he's going to sit.
Today, the most heartening thing about KL Rahul was the way, because he is a much better player of spin also.
Yeah.
The way how he tackled spin, and in particular Zampa, was simply magnificent. I mean, the touch play, he used the touch play very well. And of course, not helped by the fact that Dew resulted in Zampa losing his line and length very frequently.
The Dew situation, by the way, was so bad that almost every Aussie player had a towel tucked in behind his...
that had
was
to
really
happen.
bad.
Yeah, that had to happen. So, look, from 2 for 3 to stitch a partnership of 165 runs, which is the highest, by the way, when you are in that kind of a position, it shows volumes of the depth also. Of course, you didn't get to see Jadeja, Ashwin. Luckily, they didn't get to bat, because had that happened, if they are 20 for 5, and I think you could have very well exposed that, underbelly that, and also dispelled the notion maybe you don't need 8 batters. But that will still remain. See, this is the first game, as I had said, first game with 8 more games remaining. No panic stations for Australia. I mean, it's the first time that they've lost an opening game in the World Cup after 27 years. Last time they lost was in 1996. That was the last time, and that's why India, on the other hand, they continue their great run when it comes to winning the opening games. 11 they won, 15 they won, 19 they won, now they won in 23.
In fact, if I go back in time, I think the last time they lost their opening game, 7,
Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Bangladesh.
And even if you do not have a very good batter at number 8, I believe at this point, looking at how India batted today with the pitch the way that it was, and the fact that we had lost so many wickets, but then the way Virat Kohli and KL Rahul held out, I think the Indian batting lineup should have a lot of confidence in them.
No. That's easy to say because you were chasing 200. What if you were chasing 350?
It wasn't
then 20 for 3 is panic
It was
stations.
not an easy 200.
Not an easy 200 doesn't matter, but it's still 200 runs. You know that you're chasing down with so many overs left. They were is the second over?
54 runs.
No, 2 for 3. 2 for 3.
2 for 3 in 2 overs.
Exactly. So you had
4 overs, 5 for 3.
You had 48 overs to chase down 198 runs. Granted, not easy runs, not taking that away, but knowing how to pace your innings does make it a little bit easier. That number 8 debate, I don't think is being settled until if not even in this situation, say you lose, say you're 50 for 2, chasing about 320, then it really comes down to batting, because then you won't have this chance to consolidate. Today, Kohli and KL knew that they could consolidate because at the end of the day, they won that many runs. They were never, in trouble.
They could afford to bat slowly.
As I said, see, this kind of 200, 230, 240 kind of a chase is right up KL Rahul's alley.
Yeah, because he knows how to pace his innings.
Yes.
He's very good at it.
But if you are chasing 350, 370, which you may get in 1 or 2 of the games.
More than that, I would say. Look at India's venues. Ahmedabad. Of course, okay, Pakistan, if you are asking Pakistan to set 350, 370, good luck. That's neither here nor there.
That means your bowling is really woeful.
Yeah, so but otherwise, Ahmedabad, good batting track. Mumbai, good batting track. Delhi, but of course, Delhi also they're playing Afghanistan.
Bengaluru is a good batting track.
Bengaluru, of course.
Kolkata.
Oh, look at who they're playing, no? Kolkata, they're playing South Africa.
They're battling everywhere except Hyderabad.
Yeah, and Lucknow, which, let's be fair, we don't know what it looks like, but if they've made it a batting paradise, you're playing there against England.
Yes.
And did we mention Netherlands?
In Bengaluru.
Netherlands, that's okay.
See, you're playing New Zealand in Dharamshala. Okay. That could be a tricky kind of way, but again, New Zealand's bowling, they have to be disciplined. That's
but if they're playing 3 spinners and 2 are Rachan Ravindra and Mitch Santner, that's very interesting.
That's trouble.
Even if each Sodhi comes back.
Yeah, 3 spinners.
Yep.
Good. Considering, I mean, you're seeing a lot of talk about the HPCA stadium, not only the outfield, but I think even the pitch got an average rating.
Not the pitch, only the outfield.
Yeah,
only the outfield got an average rating, but the ICC isn't too concerned about it. But today, that's where I said, okay, Australia's bowling combination
was terrible.
Who just didn't have that pressure factor to back it up. I mean, look, who did they miss today? Ashton Agar.
Also, I think I will question. I'm a big fan of Pat Cummins. Wonderful chap, I find him very statesman-like in the way he approaches, leadership.
Yep.
Leads by example, not the kind of Australian who will chirp a lot. We'll question his leadership in one case. I think he could have persisted with Maxwell a little longer than he did. I remember there was one point when India had lost 3 wickets. When they had lost 3 wickets, you brought on Maxwell early in the hopes that okay, you might just get a breakthrough. He put him on and then took him off for a while afterwards. I remember there was a spell.
He bowled 4 overs for 9.
Exactly. At that point, you really should have persisted because again,
it was 50-50 because
you have to go for broke.
No, but already they had gotten their eye in, no?
Yeah, still.
And they were negotiating the spinners quite well.
They were negotiating them, sure. But again, spinning track.
No, you had a big problem. What was that problem?
Zampa.
Green and Cummins combined, they couldn't build the pressure.
And they were not going to on this
They
pitch.
weren't.
That's the point. You needed a third spinner.
So the strength of Australia in these kind of wickets actually becomes their kryptonite.
Exactly. It was their Achilles heel.
They didn't have a replacement for Agar. Now, Agar's absence has ensured that Australia's composition is thrown awry. Because he would have added batting value. He won you that game in Bloemfontein against South Africa, 48, and he also bowled economically.
Yeah.
Here on this deck, he may have not gotten the grip and turn that Jadeja was getting, but he could have been accurate.
He could have been.
Steady.
Yeah.
And that is where you may have to look at, okay, Kohli against left arm spin is a bit of a suspect.
I mean, we were talking about it just before the series. He's averaging about 19.
19
against left arm spin.
Yeah.
Left arm spin.
But there was no left arm spinner.
And remember who troubled him in that Sri Lanka game?
Dunit Wellalage.
Wellalage is a left armer. So that is why, see, Australia did not have that Agar backup. And that's why, unfortunately, Australia's bowling combination.
Do they have actually any left arm spinners? They don't. That's the problem.
You could have gotten that left arm wrist spinner who did well in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Remember Matthew Kuhneman?
He was not a left
But
arm.
he's Matthew Kuhneman.
No, a left arm, yes. He was not a wrist spinner though. He
He's
was
both,
orthodox.
I guess.
Yeah, he had a little wristy action.
Yeah.
But who's his idol? Jadeja. Yeah, but Kuhneman, has he played white ball
He
cricket?
hasn't played that much of white ball cricket.
In fact,
That's
I don't
the
think he's played any test cricket since the BGT either.
He was
He
there in the. He's now playing state level cricket, but I think he hasn't played much at all. So
Yeah, because he played the BGT. I remember he wasn't even in the squad for the World Test Championship final. In fact, the other spinner was Todd Murphy.
Todd Murphy. Yeah, but see, that's the problem. Australia don't have spinners,
They don't.
and if Zampa struggles, it's game over for them. And today he did struggle. Look at it, 6.6.
6.6, yeah, that's expensive considering it's a pitch which was giving, spinners some assistance.
But I think what happened was that Australia didn't capitalize on the start that they got. They had a partnership of over 80 with Smith and Warner.
Oh, you're talking about that start. I thought you were talking about the start because there's one very key moment there which we
Exactly,
have
which
to
we'll talk about. Okay, so this is the situation that Australia again, that collapse in bunches, like always it has happened in India for them. Every single time they come to India, there is a bunch wherein they collapse. You looked at the BGT, look at the two tests that they lost. 9 wickets for 30, 7 wickets for 60. That's how they collapse and let go of the offensive.
It happened if I'm not wrong, it happened during this ODI series that they played recently also, just before the World Cup in India. There was a match it was indoor, where they just collapsed in a bunch and they have this tendency.
That is why.
No, there was. I was just getting confused with the score. 118 was when India had collapsed in
Vizag.
That was in Vizag.
Yeah, that was 118, but that time different conditions, different pitch, different momentum.
Oh, but that pitch also was made to look totally different by the Aussie batters.
Yes.
Travis Head and Mitch Marsh just went.
Yeah, but I think the injury to Agar has totally thrown their team composition awry. Now they are going to struggle.
That was my worry when I saw their team sheet as well. The squad that they put out on.
But there's a lack of spinners.
Just the one specialist spinner. I thought you may not necessarily need two specialist spinners always, but because Australia, I think, are going to be playing in Hyderabad as well.
Also Delhi.
So
but Delhi now.
But you don't know. See, there are
at the moment.
6 different strips.
Yeah, anything could happen.
Anything can
And
happen.
if you're playing a World Cup in India, it doesn't hurt to have an extra spinner.
Or two.
A specialist spinner.
Yeah, again, see, this was just one pitch, but remember, it was 199, 200, where even chasing, it was made to look a bit difficult.
Yeah.
It only needed the skill and application of both Virat Kohli and KL Rahul.
And they were also smart in the sense that they ended up batting through and through till the point where the dew really set in. And then once the dew set in, you saw them kind of take their chances.
Exactly. So I think KL Rahul is the man of the match.
He was declared on television.
He was the man of the match.
Right.
Fittingly. I mean, because his style of play. Oh, and we got Ashwin in those broadcasters. Oh man, with Gambhir. And recently he had a very interesting thing to say about
Gambhir, I remember.
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Of course.
Should we talk about that?
Nah. Not really,
Okay.
not really. So, see, the problem that we are seeing at this point in time is, sure, India have won. They even won in 2019 against South Africa and Australia to make a great start. Fine. But remember, 8 more games to go and 8 different venues altogether. Because at least in England, India played, I think, 2 games in Edgbaston.
Yeah.
They played 2 games at the Oval, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 game at the Oval, and
Yeah,
then they
and
played in Leeds and all that places.
And of course, you have to also remember that in England, they didn't have these many centers.
They didn't have these many
No,
centers, yeah.
10 centers. They had maybe 6
Seven or 8. Yeah. So let us take a moment to appreciate the one moment that changed the match entirely. Mitchell Marsh is
Dropping
dropped
that catch.
Well, Mitch Marsh has had a stinker of a match. 6-ball duck and a dropped catch.
and a dropped catch. There is a story behind that shot, behind that catch drop. It stretches back to 10 years. I'll be doing that video soon, so do check that out as to how this saga, it all started 10 years ago and it led
You
up to
left
this
us on a
moment in Chennai.
cliffhanger.
Okay, I won't tell all the details now, but I'll give you only the 3 venues that can join this: Adelaide, Sydney, and Chennai.
Are you trying to say this has happened before?
I'll tell you, but you have to check that video out first when I'm doing it after this match, because and all the 3 protagonists are all the 2 protagonists and all the 3 venues: Marsh, Kohli, and Chennai. It is a 10-year saga that was waiting. It started with a heartbreak for India. It's ended with a heartbreak for Australia. How the tide changes, and that's why cricket is the ultimate leveler.
The one way in which the tide didn't change for India was that they found themselves starting this World Cup campaign the way that they ended the 2019 campaign.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The only difference was this time you had a middle order.
It's gonna be, I think, one thing that India will have to be cautious about when the ball again. You talk about crucial half hours. This was a crucial 15-20 minutes that you were looking at, while the ball was going to be absolutely new, and you knew it could do some mischief. Let's say once it would land on the deck, and barring, let's say, that one ball that perhaps had Rohit Sharma's name written on it.
No, the other 3.
The other two.
Yeah, the other 2.
Ishan Kishan,
I think
terrible
India
shot.
again.
Kishan terrible shot, same with Shreyas.
If it wasn't for Kohli, by the way, Kohli also looked a little circumspect to begin with. There's this one over I remember, I think, of Hazelwood, where I was trying to drive him a couple of times, missed it on both those occasions. Back of a length ball. Again, India were already 3 wickets down. India cannot be finding themselves in this situation again and again.
He was, every time that ball, he was beaten by Hazelwood. He was saying, it's trying this, it's doing this spongy bounce. This Chennai deck had spongy bounce. And for Kohli, it is against his game because he needs somebody with true bounce and coming onto the bat.
That, by the way, yes, that gesture from Virat Kohli did suggest that, he was saying that the ball skidded.
Every single time.
I also think, by the way, that credit to the bowler, Hazelwood, I think, had mixed it up as well, because he surprised Kohli with that bouncer. He wasn't bowling a bouncer, or he wasn't bowling so short up till that point, but he, I think, surprised Kohli with that bouncer.
Exactly.
And I think once the dew started setting in, the ball really started skidding.
Yes, and it became easier to bat. It became easier.
Yeah, because the bounce was a little truer, no? It may have been skiddy, but it wasn't quite staying low.
Yeah, there was no spin on offer, so the grip factor went. Because it was very dry at the start, you could get that grip. Look at Jadeja, he was spinning it miles.
Exactly what makes me wonder as to how he was doing it.
Again, that time, it was dry. Now with the dew, you land it on the deck, it won't explode, it won't have that grip because the ball is wet. And any bowler would testify, holding it and trying to get the revs on a wet ball is far more difficult.
Which is why it skids through most.
Exactly.
And it was so dry, you were getting dust.
Exactly. You didn't see any puff of dust when the Australian spinners were bowling. So, as I said, 2 strengths of Australia actually became their kryptonite.
One, a very good pace battery, which was rendered irrelevant in this track.
And second, winning the toss, and they chose to bat, by the way. But that will happen in India for them. It will be 50-50. Because Australia's bowlers bowl well on absolute flat decks. But on these same kind of wickets, which is spin friendly and also spongy bounce, that attack is a kryptonite for them.
Actually, in hindsight, and we can debate upon this, would you have chosen, if you're the Aussie captain, to bowl first?
That's the problem. See, in Australia, what happens is, irrespective of conditions, they want to say, okay, we will bat.
No, that's fair, but they've adopted that mentality for T20Is, wherein they will be flexible and look to, more often than not,
bat first.
Bowl first. If they win the toss. And why I'm saying this is because there are 2 things you always know with India. One is, under lights, it does tend to ease out. Second, you're playing in October, November, regardless of where you are in the degree of it, there will be dew.
But I would still say, I think on this surface, India would have wanted to bat second only.
No, India.
I'm saying in disguise when India lost the toss.
I'm talking about Australia. I agree. India actually it was a good toss to lose because there was a conundrum, and Pat Cummins in hindsight made the wrong decision.
Maybe see, it might have not proven wrong, okay, had they not collapsed in that bunch. Remember that 3 wickets in 2 overs.
Yeah.
That's it. But the game was done.
But actually, if you look at it, I get your point. You're right about that.
Better application.
Better application, and let's also be fair. The Indians did get slightly easier conditions.
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
After the 25th over, I mean, you saw there was hardly any purchase.
Yeah.
The ball had gotten wet.
Yeah.
The spinners were unable to grip it properly. Zampa really lost control, and I can sympathize with him in that.
2-3 full tosses which ease the pressure off, and that's why. And let us be very open about the fact that KL Rahul and Virat Kohli strike rotation also
Incredible.
ensured that there couldn't be pressure built. Plus the double whammy, the dew set in, conditions eased off, Australia stood no chance.
Correct.
I mean,
And better application, if I have to add to your point, Gargi, that supposing,
I didn't make a point.
no, you're saying na, it was incredible running
Huh.
from KL Rahul and Virat Kohli.
She forgot her own point.
Yeah. See, when you do that kind of a situation cricket, taking 1s and 2s on a consistent basis, irrespective of what situation you are in, maybe even if you're 20 for 5, but then suddenly with those 1s and 2s, it can suddenly become 80 for 5, and you're in a better position at this point in time,
Especially
without
when
taking risks.
Especially considering you're chasing 200, which doesn't need you to take risks, which is why I think that's where also I'll come back to the shots which the two batters played. One was Ishan Kishan and one was Shreyas Iyer.
Bad shot.
Needless. The only one where I'll say Rohit, okay, we know in swinging balls are really his kryptonite.
He has never corrected that for 16 years.
Exactly.
That was good ball as well.
A good ball, but that is your forever problem throughout your career.
And remember, this was only the 3rd duck that Rohit Sharma's had
Yeah.
against Australia.
So
2012, Brisbane was his first duck. 2019, Nagpur was his 2nd duck. And now here.
I think it was Cummins who got him in the World Test Championship final. Today it was Hazelwood though.
Yeah.
But balls are very identical.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Off the deck, came back in.
Yep. And remember, Nathan Lyon also, the ball straightened, it came back in from round the wicket. He tried to sweep, got out.
Yeah, but also talking about incredible running again, there were these visuals that the host broadcaster was showing, and it said that Virat Kohli was running with a maximum speed of 28 kilometers per hour.
In that heat.
In that heat. I mean, see, he's an alpha male for
His
fitness.
athleticism and
Next
He
level.
is
His
only
fitness is
16
next.
kilometers slower than Usain Bolt
Yeah.
at top speed. He's only 16 kilometers slower, because there was one graphic that I think the Olympics had shown in 2008 rather, when peak Usain Bolt broke all records for fun.
I remember that.
Because of the way how he starts, his top speed is 44 kilometers. Usain Bolt.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Virat.
Virat is 28 km.
Yeah.
That's 60.
That's
But remember,
maximum.
this is Virat Kohli at 35.
I know, right?
I am sure a decade back it could have been maybe at 15, 16 when he got that fitness. 2012, 13 he still had that chubbiness around him. He still was that guy who was figuring out his diet and his athleticism and all that. 2012, 13.
Yeah, by 2015, Virat had his regime.
Yeah.
Must
itself
be over
as-
30, 32. I am sure about that.
Yeah, by 2015, Virat Kohli, the cricketer, had discovered who he was.
And look at it, in that brutal conditions, he rarely broke a sweat. He was as fit and as fresh as it can be. You play another 50 over game in that, on the same day, he would have still been fit.
But you know, I just checked though, I think India, even despite this win, and it's a comfortable win at the end, despite those early hiccups,
Yeah.
India's still not top 4 on the
Yeah, that doesn't really matter until
It
the
doesn't
4th of
matter
its
as
game.
It doesn't
I'm
matter.
just stating
It will
how
matter
stands as
after
things
the
are
5.
right now.
If you look at it, it will matter after each team has played 5 games.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is the key point, because then after each team plays 5 games, you are at the business end of the
Because
tournament.
then you have
Yep.
4 matches left and you can start
Because
making.
Then 50% of the campaign is done for the teams.
Exactly.
You look at it that way.
This is not even the end of the first week. This is by 5th it started, right? 12th will be your first week of the World Cup. Still 11th or 12th.
Yeah, 11th. 5th you count.
5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. 11th.
So 11th, that is the India-Afghanistan match. That will be
yes.
the first week of the ODI World Cup. So we have a long way to go. This was only match 5 of 45.
Yeah.
45 league games.
45 league and yeah, of course.
45 league games and 3 knockouts. So Very long way to go. And remember, it's very apt how Gautam Gambhir is speaking about KL Rahul's 97.
The LSG connection.
And also, I mean, see, I do agree with Ashwin on certain things that he said about Gautam Gambhir. I think he is quite a misunderstood guy. When
Gautam Gambhir, yeah, like
he speaks his mind.
he speaks his mind.
He's blunt. And many people don't like bluntness. And let's be very honest, we like people all the time praising. And Gautam Gambhir is right. I mean, we all focus on that 91, but there was one more guy who hit a 97. There were others who hit a 34. We forget Virat Kohli's 34 was important.
The thing is, he calls a spade, which I don't think many analysts do.
Yeah.
That's number one with
Yes.
Gautam Gambhir.
And he's fearless. He wants to speak his mind. He will speak his mind on cricket related issues. I don't know about the other things, that's subjective and open to debate, but on cricket, he calls a spade a spade.
Absolutely does. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Second being the fact that his bluntness is often confused as arrogance, or I would say brutality. I would say,
Or
his
you may
comments
be,
are often looked at very differently than anyone else if were to make those
or
comments.
also
Yeah.
maybe pushing an agenda. That
It's-
might also happen in the case of Gautam Gambhir, because he is a soft target because of his background. Even in the past, even in Delhi, he never backed out. I think the main factor after the 70s and 80s Delhi that made Delhi quite competitive in the domestic circuit was Gambhir. Gambhir's never backing down approach actually helped Delhi. When he retired, you see the fortunes of the Delhi team where they are.
This is, by the way, I remember Gambhir had fought very hard for one player. I'm forgetting who it was.
Navdeep Saini.
Yes, it was Navdeep
Navdeep
Saini.
Saini.
Yeah.
He was adamant. And see, Gambhir is, at the end of the day, along with Yuvraj Singh, your greatest match winner. Be it the 2007 T20 World Cup final,
Yes.
75. Everybody forgets that.
On both those occasions.
Correct.
45, 46 over there, and
75.
75. Sorry,
And 97. He has won you 2 World Cups. Be it the T20 or the 2011 World Cup.
Yeah, and
And
no one talks about that.
No one talks about it. See, that's the thing. I was scared. Okay, what if KL Rahul fell for 85 with a better strike rate and Kohli gets to 100, which I very well felt it was going to be the case. Kohli was getting to his 9th 100 against Australia. It would have been his first World Cup 100 in 8 years, by the way, because
Wow.
15 he had hit a century against Pakistan. Since then he's had 5 or 6, and there he
You
is.
will put a chair for me. I'm very disappointed. No. We have 6 chairs.
Yeah, I'll get the.
He's getting the Mohit's getting the other one.
Mohit, come on.
Are Sarko?
Sarko.
What was that?
Sarko means
How's the Josh, guys?
Very
Josh is
high.
very high.
Very high. Incredible performance by the Indian team.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm late. Just was recording an interview with Suresh and Sunil Gavaskar, which is going to be up on Sports Today shortly. So,
Yes.
get ready for another treat that we'll have for you. But what a day it's been for the Indian team. And I was, even when I was doing the TV show, I was hoping that it gets over fast and I can come here quickly and join our folks on Sports Today. Because it's a special day. And when I was just doing the show, I kind of thought to myself that this was that game that we were building up for a good 6-8 months. Every day we would do a dugout.
Yeah.
Every day we would sit and we'd talk about
This moment.
World Cup starts. How will you face the Aussies, the strong team? Look at Australia's batting lineup. All of that, all of those thoughts. And you thought that it's going to be a tough one. And geez, what a first week India is going to have. First up Australia, then maybe
14th.
Afghanistan in a tricky condition. And then you 14th India versus Pakistan. All those things were on your mind. And guess what? India have won that first game, and the way that they won, I don't think I'm getting ahead of myself, but I feel that this Indian team, in the manner that they've won, see, even I'm saying when we used to keep talking about, I'm sure Rohit and Virat, they must have all had butterflies in their stomach. You're facing Australia, then they must have been slightly easy or comfortable in the mid innings, saying, okay, our bowlers have done the job. But when you were 3 down for just 2 runs on the board, I'm sure they would have been on their lowest ebb, and they would be like, our worst nightmare is coming true. And why? See, you could have won it in any other fashion. I wouldn't have made much of it. I mean, of course, we would have celebrated beating Australia. But the way in which they've won comfortably from being 3 down for 2, like, your worst nightmare came true, and from there you won. Dare I say, this Indian team now would be tough to stop, because in situation like this, if you bounce back and you win like this Indian team now, I fear for Pakistan on the 14th. Quite frankly, with this performance, because everyone must have seen this on television.
Yeah.
Everyone would have said, how many teams can you think of being in a situation like this against the Aussies, which once have a team on the mat, rarely let them go. How many teams can do it? For India's confidence to believe now from any situation they can win, from other teams' point of view, thinking that this Indian team is not down and out, the kind of things that we would talk about the Australian teams of the past, right? No matter what, they can win. So dare I say that this Indian team now is the team to watch out for.
Unstoppable.
You get ready for 19th November, guys.
Yeah.
Get ready for 19th November. Even if you were fans, even if I was a fan or you were a fan, heart of heart, I would still be like, we're backing India, but you never know, crucial games, you will, somewhere, that one bad half hour. Today, that one bad half hour happened.
Came, man.
Yeah.
It happened that one.
Spoke about it.
But the way they did it. So, I don't know. I'd be very surprised if this team with this form and this confidence that they'll take from this game is not playing on 19th of November at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad.
And losing to New Zealand, as always. I had to get that.
But can I tell you
See,
one
this
thing?
happened in 2019 also.
But I did say something in your
Yeah.
favor. I think now in this tournament, the only game which I feel could be tricky for India
England.
would be the New Zealand game.
Dharamshala.
Not so much
New
England,
Zealand, yeah.
because if you get England on a similar surface, because now you know that they're going to give you these kind of surfaces. If you get England on a similar surface,
Lucknow they're playing,
in
remember?
Lucknow, that's what I'm
Lucknow,
saying.
They would struggle well.
Yeah, with your spinners bowling that the way they are, again I'm not that worried. But New Zealand in Dharamshala, it could be one game. That could be one game where India may not necessarily be the overwhelming
See,
favorite. So I'll
the
say
thing
that.
is, 2015 and 2019, you all had great starts. Agreed. You beat Australia also by 36 runs in 2019. You beat South Africa, you beat Australia quite comfortably in 2019. It's after that, whether you maintain that momentum, which I hope this Indian team does. Because you got 8 more games to go.
But I give you a difference between 2019. I think 2019, India, maybe alongside England, were the clear favourites for that tournament. Go back to the start, and I remember we were doing a lot of preview shows to that. Australia weren't the same team.
They
were on a bit of a slide, and after that entire fiasco that they had, captaincy change and so on. So they were not at their best, right? In that situation. So I think England, India were the two favourites
Clear
in that
favourites,
tournament, and it did not surprise me at that time when they beat Australia. It did not surprise me because India had their ODI cricket sorted. You knew your top 3 were, Rohit in form. I think Shikhar got 100 in that game. So you knew between these 3 you'll sort out. That template was there. Then suddenly you realize why I'm saying this World Cup is different. This World Cup, when you went in, you realize that we had, in that sense, that template had become outdated. And now I didn't know whether this Indian team has that formula to win. 2019, I knew the Indian team had the formula to win. I agree that was a rare bad day that they had on the semi-final only. And even in that, it was tricky because of it going over 2 days.
Yeah.
And different conditions. All of that. So it just went. In most other occasions, I would have thought that Indian team could have beaten New Zealand. They were a very superior ODI team, and at that moment, I don't say it now, at that moment they were ahead of the curve in ODI cricket.
Even I think, there are 2 factors here. There are 2 factors. One, home condition, home dominance. Always it's happened in the past 12 years. Second, every piece of the jigsaw puzzle fitted in at the right time for India. I'll tell you what, KL Rahul's injury, that luckily came off, and he came back in proper form at the right time.
Who will apologize to KL Rahul for being mean to him?
No, I will not. I will not.
No, he backed him in ODIs.
Yeah, in ODIs I
Said.
backed him. No, I did already. I'll go over it again. But
Actually, you already done.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to again.
But I think that moment for this Indian team, and they also realize that they can do bigger things over the next couple of months, would be the Asia Cup victory. I think this team was longing for a multi-nation tournament win, which it hadn't done in quite some time. That Plus the fact that all these players that you were looking for the core to come back together, the core came and it fitted in perfectly. KL Rahul was getting you runs in the middle. Ishan Kishan was getting you runs in the middle. When he was played up top, he got you runs.
Bumrah came back well.
Bumrah came back. It was a touch expensive on one occasion when he leaked about 80 runs but got 3 wickets as well.
The most
that day.
crucial piece was Kuldeep Yadav. His
Yes.
confidence. Because he got a longer rope, he was doing well in the Asia Cup also, and now you see, he was the one who set it up for Jadeja to wreck through the middle order.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the biggest positive though for India in this game is Jadeja.
Jadeja,
and
yes.
I only say it because are you surprised that Virat pulled this off? No.
No.
You knew he could do it.
KL also
Are you
no.
surprised that KL showed this form?
No.
Not surprised at all because of the form that he showed earlier. Are you surprised that Kuldeep picked up wicket? I'm not, because he had been doing that. The only one which you kind of were worried about was Ravindra Jadeja and his form.
More overs batting, never overs bowling.
Even bowling, like they were talking.
His
they were
penetration
talking
was lacking.
that penetration is gone. He's not picking up those many wickets. Believe you me, I did read a lot on social media. They said, why are we hell bent on keeping Jadeja? Just because his past performances, believe you me, he's going to be that weak area
Weak
that you
link.
will. A lot of people did point that out. I was surprised at that time, and I agree his batting wasn't great. But today, because he's picked up, see, we all knew that he can be a bowler who's a safe bowler, bowls his 10 overs, doesn't
Correct.
get hammered on certain days, gets his line and length right. But the fact that he picked up those 3 wickets and
Clutch wickets.
sometimes clutch wickets. I tell you, this game India could have lost had he not picked up Steve Smith
Yeah.
then.
Yes.
Smith would have got you 100. It would have taken the total, not a massive total, but 240, 250 or something thereabout. Australia would have got that. India would have struggled to have got from that situation.
From 2 for 3.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 for 3.
So that wicket of Jadeja.
And then he did well to get rid of Labuschagne as well, who is also looking very settled.
If Australia just had that blueprint like what New Zealand did, okay, you knew even then that India were batting till number 8 even in 2019. But
No, you weren't.
Of course, you were batting till Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who was or Jadeja at 8.
7.
Was that 7?
7, 8.
Yeah.
See,
Let's go through a batting lineup. There
Okay.
was Shikhar.
no, Shikhar was
Shikhar got injured.
No, you're talking about semis.
9.
Semis,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, you're talking about semis.
So Rohit, KL,
Yeah.
then you had Virat,
Virat.
DK, Pant, Pandya, the Dhoni and Jaddu.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, you were batting till 8.
You were batting till 8.
Although it was very patchwork.
But
No, but that's a good batting lineup. You just mentioned.
it was a fantastic batting lineup.
Yeah.
Just
And
that
The only limitation with that lineup was that you had only and only
And
5
by the
bowlers.
way,
Only
you
5
were
bowlers.
decent in number 9.
Yeah,
With Bhuvaneshwar.
Yeah.
exactly.
We could-
So, after 4 for 24, what did the New Zealand bowlers do? Bowled with discipline, 32 overs, 92 for 6. If Australia had applied that same kind of pressure, who knows what could have happened?
No, yeah.
But what
not
went
the
against
bowlers.
them?
Not so much the bowlers are at fault. It's Pat Cummins who's at fault.
Yes.
Because I'm just saying, you got that amazing. Who are the 2 most dangerous bowlers?
Hazelwood and
they-
Stark.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you took them off after 3-4 over spells.
Yeah.
And you got Cameron Green so early.
That was
And
the
that
biggest
Zampa
blunder.
over was the pressure release
Yes.
over
Oh, yeah.
where they got 13 the first over. I'm saying this is Australia's biggest problem. He's a nice guy, I like him and all of that. But if you remember, if you go back, we've discussed this. Steve Smith
Is
the
a better captain. In
Right.
the continent.
The
Yeah,
captain
yeah.
today would have not allowed them to take the foot off the neck of the Indian team. They had them on the mat. If Steve Smith was captain, that pressure would have been relentless. It could have been, see again in hindsight, maybe you could give Cummins that benefit of the doubt that they also almost got Virat before Mitch Marsh dropped that. Otherwise the
It's
situation-
a whole different story.
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
could have been different. But I'm just saying, still, even with a drop catch, had a Smith been there, he wouldn't have, eased up the pressure so fast.
I think-
he would have allowed his fast bowlers to continue.
I think the
And
problem.
look at it. Was Smith not the man in charge in that indoor test?
Exactly.
He was.
Look what happened.
Yeah.
But again,
Exactly.
what did Smith have in that advantageous position in Indore? He had the resources. Here, I think he was hamstrung by one particular injury absence or to Ashton
Ashton Agar.
They don't have a backup spinner also.
But I'm sorry, that is also something that was in their hands. ICC didn't pick their squad for them. Why is Tanveer Sangha in the reserves?
That is also there. But
That's
again,
a self-made problem.
They picked Manas Labuschagne
Yeah.
for a spinner.
Exactly.
That is,
And not just that, and not
that's
just
their
that,
fault.
they have Travis Head still in the squad, despite the fact that there's no certainty. If you knew that Head, by the way, would have been another spinning option.
But his involvement, we know, is only towards the second half
Exactly,
of the tournament.
exactly.
They're prepared.
the other problem that Smith would have faced, the dew factor. Zampa, he was negated by dew.
It was terrible.
Couldn't
with you.
grip
He
the ball.
couldn't grip, he couldn't
Yeah.
get the revs because when Jadeja was bowling, he got the revs, he got the grip because it was drier. Here, Chennai, because of the humidity factor and because it had not rained for close to 24 hours, the big factor was that it's a huge problem to grip. The dew factor came in. The dew factor. That was the whole problem. Even if Smith was there-
the day that it's extremely humid over there, so it's not surprised that dew
Of course it was
played a
going
part
to.
later on as the match.
Whatever you tried, it would not have worked because their batters didn't do the job. That 3 wickets in 2 overs that collapsed.
28th and 30th over.
Yes, you couldn't have done anything about it. And after the dew set in, Zampa was rendered ineffective. So that is why even if Steve Smith was there, it would not have made a difference as a captain because their batters had failed. Australia's team composition was a big problem.
Yeah.
And it will be a problem for them because they don't have your second specialist spinner.
Yeah.
You don't have
But
that.
That is a
their
problem.
own fault.
That's
Yeah.
your own.
It's their own
problem of
fault.
your own making.
Yep.
What Sangha doing in the reserves?
Yeah. And Nathan Lyon saying he's ready.
He is
If
ready.
India- If India can get Ravichandran Ashwin,
Get Nathan Lyon
is
back.
sitting there, he's saying, I'm ready. But truth be told, if Nathan Lyon was bowling on this track, he would have been far more effective than most
Yeah.
other.
Oh, true. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We saw what he did in that India series. Magic.
Although in
I know it's
ODI,
wide, no,
Yeah.
but still, if
he would have been a better option
if
than
Ashwin, the test spinner,
Yeah.
you have faith in him to do well in white ball. Similar, yeah.
Similar,
Nathan
yeah,
Lyon
same thing.
Isn't the same pedigree or what?
Yep.
If a
Is he or not?
Maxwell,
Can argue the
He's
reason.
better.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
better than
Oh
Ashwin.
my God.
who?
Nathan
Big
Lyon.
statement.
He is better in
The
test
bowler,
matches.
The bowler.
No, are you factoring in his batting? Ashwin?
The bowler,
Or you
the
just
bowler.
comparing bowler for
Just
bowler?
a bowler.
Bowler for
Just I'm
bowler.
saying it's such a big compliment coming from Siddharth.
Yeah.
Because see, Nathan Lyon in Sena country is also an Indian subcontinent.
Yeah, he's dominant.
Dominant.
No, it's a debate. You can't say.
To be fair, we
I
debated
doubt,
with
yeah.
BT and we all picked Lion.
WTC.
I think it's a
No,
fair
but
debate.
what I'm saying
it's a fair debate.
what I'm saying is I don't know what we pick, but I'm saying is it's worthy of a debate, which means that it's a close call.
Yeah,
It is. It's
it
a
is.
close call. So
WTC final, Nathan Lyon got 4 wickets in that second innings, which made a difference.
but Ashwin can't defend himself. You didn't play him.
Oh, okay. You want a better one?
That is Rohit Sharma's and the Indian team management's fault.
England's comeback in the Ashes owes a lot to the fact that Lyon was
Missing for the last
missing.
week.
Yes.
Last 2 tests. Otherwise, he on those flatter tracks and tests was being very, very effective.
घर की मुर्गी दाल
Edgbaston
बराबर.
and Lords.
No, come on.
No. That's been pretty harsh. I mean,
But again-
when it is Nathan Lyon versus Ravichandran Ashwin in
Says
test
the
match
vegetarian, by
bowling.
the way.
Huh?
Says the vegetarian, by the way.
It's
Yeah.
a metaphor. I can use it whenever I want.
Exactly.
You can say ghar ki mooli.
Eesh.
Vegetarian. Dal
Doesn't make
barabar.
sense though.
Whatever.
My God. Ghar ki mooli, no, the dal. I'll have the dal.
I know, I
You
also
don't like mooli.
No.
hate it.
No,
Harshit?
mooli. It's
Oh.
mooli. That's why. That's it.
Don't react that way. It's not chole bhature.
You can say ghar ki.
Chole Bhature, top to the hand. That's my thing on Chole
You can
Bhature.
say ghar ki mulgi, which is in Marathi.
Mulgi is girl. Yeah. Small
Dal
girl.
barabar. Whatever that means.
Mulgi is
No,
small
I'm looking
girl.
at vegetarian.
Not small girl,
No,
any girl.
Acha. I thought it was Porgy.
No.
The same thing, synonymous.
Yeah, but Porgy is more Konkan, isn't it?
No, it's
Yeah.
Marathi also.
No, it's more on the Konkan belt.
Oh, acha.
more-
I've been.
Not Nagpur so much.
Yeah. Mulgi and Porgy. Doga.
हाँ.
It's all Greek.
So,
क्या
okay,
बात है?
questions? Do we have questions?
Yes, we've not actually taken any comments.
Many
We have been
swals.
waiting for half an hour,
Come
45
on.
minutes here.
Come
Many
on. What a
swals.
great day, yeah. By the way, congratulations to everyone.
Yep.
We're going to have a long party. I hope you guys.
Miraj Ru.
Are we
Yeah.
going to have?
We should.
Of course we
We're having a party.
Yeah.
Ah.
India's won.
Let's go.
But aren't we
Listen,
going to have a bigger
I'll tell
party
you-
on the
I'll
14th?
tell you why. No, again, I know everyone's talking India, Pakistan. I'm telling you what I felt like. I somewhere, knew that India is a better team than Pakistan.
Yeah.
You knew
Yeah,
it, right?
exactly.
I knew that's not a game to worry. But I did not think that India, and that's why, again, as I said, when I woke up, you wonder You want the World Cup to start on a good note. You want India to do well. So today was like a nervous kind of a day I had in the morning. I was thinking, what will happen? You know, this one will be back. Will India be able to do it? Will Rohit get some runs? Will they hammer us? You know, various things. Will Maxwell get 100 of some 70 balls? Which are those other things that you fear. But today, once this game is done, a lot of tension that was building up the last 2-3 days is kind of eased off. At least that's how I see it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of you must be feeling like that.
Yeah, it matters more because this was a challenge, a proper challenge for the Indian team facing the Australian team. And I was worried about someone like a Glenn Maxwell taking 4 wickets. With somewhat
It happened in
sort of
Rahul, by the way.
He did.
Yep.
He did. And again, as I said, you know, the ODI series, we kept saying it here, that don't look at that result of that ODI series simply because Australia and World Cups is just different. I go back to 2011. Again, I remember that Australian team was also on the downslide. Not the same of the teams that we had seen in the previous edition before that.
Correct.
And even then, that quarter final was the most nervous, even more than India-Pakistan.
India-Pakistan, you had faith you'd beat
2011.
Pakistan, but Australia, no.
Same thing.
Exactly.
Same thing. That's what I'm saying. Same thing.
That was the match which gave India the confidence that we will win the World Cup.
Exactly. Yeah, that celebration between Raina and Yuvraj said it all.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, see, we.
You can tell us later. Saying that today he told Suresh Raina, who's here in our studios, that क्या छक्का लगाया था आपने.
Yep. I think he did of Lee, I guess. if I'm not
Chinna
mistaken.
Khala.
Brett Lee.
Brett Lee. He did of Brett Lee. Straight down the ground, long on.
Scroll up.
Guys,
Have you taken all those?
no, we haven't.
Let's go then. Let's go.
Miraj was
rules.
just saying, guys, predict 2 big upsets. I'm predicting one tomorrow. What? New Zealand, Netherlands, maybe.
No.
Nahi yaar,
A upset,
no.
maybe an
Is it a
Afghanistan
double
beating
header
Pakistan.
No, only one
single.
match.
Maybe an Afghanistan beating Pakistan.
Sri Lanka beating Pakistan. That's an upset.
But it's not
That's not an upset.
Yes, it is.
That's not.
Looking
Historically,
at this
All of
current-
them in Asia.
And you saying that for Sri Lanka?
Yeah.
Arey,
They have never beaten Pakistan in a World Cup.
you got 5-0, 6-0.
7-0. 7-0. That you're obsessed with only 1-7-0. There is 1-7-0 even there.
Bangladesh beat England.
No, they have beaten them twice, na, already, 11
No,
and 15.
but he's right. If they were to beat them now,
This
it'll be
England
an
team,
upset.
Yeah.
defending champions, yes.
Defending
Shillong's
champs England,
picked an
yes.
upset. He says Bangladesh will beat England. In fact, Chennai, is Bangladesh playing in Chennai?
Yes.
Yes.
Check out the games that Bangladesh is
I
playing.
think they are playing one game.
Against England.
Chennai.
I'm asking.
I'll check.
Is
Dharamshala कैसे
Bangladesh
पहुंचे?
playing in Chennai? Yes, they're playing in Dharamshala. They're playing in Pune.
Pakistan.
Against New Zealand. On 13th.
Bangladesh playing New Zealand in
Chepok.
that could
be that one.
turning track. They will like all the turning tracks.
Yeah, I mean, Shakib is there. There is Nazum,
Miraz.
Ahmed, Mehdi Hassan.
Mehdi Hassan Miraz.
Wow.
I'm picking Afghanistan to cause an upset.
Well, they could.
I think
Not
Pakistan.
after their first match's performance.
Pakistan, Afghanistan.
I think
Oh,
so.
what a game that is going to be anyway.
Of
Exactly.
course.
That's why I'm saying.
Afghanistan games are like.
Let's hope there are no scuffles in the stands.
What do you mean? Naveen Ulaq is playing?
Well,
He'll be playing for Afghanistan, no?
I'm saying
There'll be
scuffle in the stands.
He'll cause scuffles in empty rooms, my friend.
Yeah, that's see. They are playing in Delhi. Virat Kohli versus Naveen Ulaq in Delhi. Oh my God. He's gonna get it on 11th.
11th though, magazines.
Yeah. Tanmay Joshi says that have you also observed that Shreyas is trying to bat more aggressively post injury? Unlike his 2022 batting style, this looks hit and miss.
Yes.
Totally agree.
Yeah, but can I tell you, cut
Too
him
small a
some,
sample
yeah,
size.
cut him some slack because he's just played some good games. But I agree, today's shot was horrendous.
Bad
Both
shot
Ishan
selection.
Kishan
Yeah.
and Shreyas Iyer. And you know what I've really liked? I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's seldom that we see former players really call a spade a spade. It doesn't really happen on a lot of occasion. So let me just show you Yuvraj Singh's tweet. I don't know how many of you saw it. Okay, maybe you can show, but
Yeah.
I'll read it, and in meanwhile he can show that as well. So this is what he tweeted. He says, for a number 4 batsman, he has to absorb the pressure. You need better thinking from Shreyas Iyer. When team is trying to rebuild their innings, still don't understand why KL Rahul is not batting at number 4 after scoring 100 against Pakistan. dropping Virat Kohli might cost Australia a big thing, which we know was of
Yeah.
course the game changer. But what he's saying is that you needed a bit more maturity from Shreyas Iyer. I completely agree. With Ishan also, you needed some maturity.
Yeah.
He can't always be that I'm the young guy of the
And
team
I'll whack.
and I'll whack.
And I've been told
you know,
to play my brand of cricket.
also
and
that
my-
I am an upcoming guy, so the responsibility is going to be
Chalta hai.
shouldered by the senior guys, and I can be.
And I've been told to
sometimes-
play my way. I'm getting
No,
the
even if
batting.
he's not being told, what happens sometimes if you're a youngster in a team, you come in, you think, listen, I'm the youngster, so I'll play whichever way.
I can make mistakes.
Exactly.
There
Yeah,
might be some
seniors-
slack because-
seniors
Yeah,
will
yeah.
do. But boss, you've been playing cricket for so long. Now you have to,
Take charge.
that responsibility.
Be
You have to
mature.
behave like a senior and play a long inning. That's what he needs to do. So today's shot was horrendous, and he's done his chances a lot of harm going
Yeah.
forward. If you're going to look at him, probably next time they may think of something like pushing KL as an opener and bringing Sky in.
They
If
won't do that.
they could. I'm saying, would you go with, let's say he plays another shot like that, you will keep going with Ishan Kishan. Then you'll be shooting yourself in the foot. Let's say Shubman is not available. Shubman comes then, no doubt.
Yeah.
If Shubman's not available, I'm not then going to keep going with Ishan Kishan, especially when there's already talk of me bringing Sky into the team. How do I bring Sky into the team? Is he going to open for me? He's not going to open for me.
Correct.
I'll need someone to open. Then I either push Virat to open with Rohit. That's another option, and then adjust the batting order like that. Because Surya has to bat at 6 only.
Yeah.
Na? So then I'll have to make that adjustment, whatever, fine. So either I tell Virat to open, or then I say no, KL, because he's open, good form, you go and open, and then I fit Surya Kumar in. That's what I'm saying. Ishan is, and it's not always the amount of runs. Everyone got out on a duck, but Rohit got a good ball.
Yeah.
He got a good ball, jack back in. If Ishan got a good ball, you'd be like, okay.
And the same
fair enough.
16-year tick.
That was an irresponsible shot.
So that is the day when the team starts taking a call on you. You get out on good balls, no.
Rohit, unfortunately, a good ball, but same 16-year problem that he's been having. 16-year
In swing,
problem.
yeah.
So, again, same, that Ishan Kishan shot, it kind of reminded me of 2014 when Dhawan, same ball, same away swinger, edged it out to Stark. Have a look at that video and have a look at that Ishan Kishan video. It's identical. That's the thing with Stark. Wide ball, you don't go for a drive, but edge straight to the slip. And incidentally, first slip took the catch. That was how it was.
Today as well. Yeah.
Today also, but of course that was higher, this was lower because of the bounce factor in Melbourne. So that's why Shelby is like saying, this is for Shane. Okay. If there is a legend after King and Rohit, it is KL Rahul.
Yeah, we did.
Shreyas.
It is KL Rahul. First match World Cup against mighty Oz, he wins man of the match. KLU Beauty Rahulians. What?
That's a new breed, is it?
That's a new breed.
A new breed altogether.
Viratians,
Oh God. Oh God.
bad.
Should I point one thing out, because people criticize us sometimes when everyone
Was against.
they were making memes of KL Rahul, making fun of him.
I never made any
A
memes of
lot
KL
of people
Rahul.
did that. And he became a butt of all jokes. We at Sports Today always supported him and said that he is a class.
No, for ODIs, I had said very clearly that he should be.
He will be back and all that.
Used
I
to have
remember
a
a lot of
three-letter
people
word.
on social media would
I
then
don't.
troll me and write things like this, whatever, KL Rahul,
PR.
pays
PR.
you, PR.
Yeah,
I wish.
I wish.
I wish all of those guys now come and apologize also.
But
Yeah.
they
Nobody
won't.
will do it.
They won't. They're faceless
The
trolls.
faceless
No?
people.
Exactly.
Rahul
Any
Williams.
other?
Scroll down, scroll down.
I think it's done.
No, there might be another one.
Just go down.
Oh, okay.
It's done. Yeah. So any other thing? GGK, it was 8 years old. GGK, hold on to that. Don't give everything away, because I'm going to do a video on that incident. 10 years it's been there. It's there. So that's the thing. Don't give everything away, GGK, please. I'm going to do a video on that particular moment. So
Just a second.
Arun Teja is saying, hope Virat Kohli replicates what Rohit has done in the 2019
How
World
either of
Cup.
them can replicate that kind of form, because Rohit was untouchable in that World Cup, except of
yeah.
course in the semi.
Yeah. I mean, remember, the guy who hit 648 runs goes up for a duck today. That's how fickle this game is.
600 runs on these tracks. which
5
is
centuries here. 5 centuries. And
Record.
yeah, it was a fantastic Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma at that time was at his absolute best at that time. He and Virat, imagine, he and Virat were at their absolute beast mode in that 15 to 19
I think
period.
from even, one thing that's not changed for this Indian team from 19 and to this year is the fact that you still rely a lot on your Rohits and the Virats because they are still the fulcrum of the team. That's in 4 years' time, that's not changed a bit.
And that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
but
they're absolutely. I'm just trying to draw parallels how we very much in 2019 also in a way, or this World Cup has shades of 2019 in many ways.
of course, now you don't have a number. Back then, you didn't have a number 8 problem. You had a
You had a
number-
number 4 problem.
Oh yeah.
Number 4.
Which was very dire.
It was.
Oh, that was the whole World Cup. I remember number 4, number 4, number 4, number 4, number 4. Jesus,
Yeah.
it was bad.
It became a 4-pronged
For
problem.
good 8 months, 10 months.
3D players.
Actually, no. The whole confusion started just 2 months
Yeah,
prior
right.
to the World
New
Cup.
Zealand.
Yeah.
Australia.
First New Zealand because Raidu had a poor run there.
He had a great run in New Zealand. Raidu had a great run. He failed in 2 matches against Australia, and suddenly there were questions
correct.
in India.
And Vijay Shankar
90 something na against
New Zealand, yeah.
New
yeah,
Zealand.
Yeah.
He had a great tour of New
Am I
Zealand.
right? Yeah.
4-1.
Vijay Shankar got a 50 or something, no?
Yeah.
That also helped
Vijay
us.
Shankar got helped you take wickets against Australia in Nagpur.
Remember him
3
performing
wickets he
bad
got
as well.
Yeah.
He had not had 1 half century if I'm
One
not
half
wrong.
century at that because I remember this talk that 1 half century and a 30-40 odd has just propelled him into the Indian side.
Yes.
At number 4, no. right?
Disappeared after that. Disappeared.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
No, he didn't.
times have sort of changed.
Sort of changed,
Sort of.
and that's why. So, what is the Akash Bharadwaj? As it is World Cup, which is favorite World Cup knock ever? Oh my God. He says his is De Silva 96, 107 in the final, and Gilly 2007 final. Ew, that's tough.
Favorite World Cup knock ever? Gambhir 97.
Virat 86.
86.
Today.
85
today.
today.
85.
No, not today.
Then
Which 86?
86?
Melbourne, yeah.
Arey, yeah, he's
82.
asking ODI World Cup, I think.
82.
Yeah, my memory
to
is
be
not
fair,
that
you were
good.
saying World Cup. Nah, so she thought T20
Good
also.
World
No,
Cup.
Ah,
ODI
it doesn't,
World Cup.
it doesn't mention anything, by the way.
ODI World Cup.
So
ODI
who
World
all has picked what?
Gambhir
Okay.
2011.
One by one, everyone.
Cup. Ari 107, 96.
He's
Same as
gone with
Akash. Yeah.
Akash.
The final. Okay.
Yep.
82 Melbourne Virat
T20 World Cup.
T20 World
Arey,
Cup.
ODI World Cup.
But it doesn't specify anything.
No,
like that.
now we are
Come on,
specifying.
specify.
I don't have a good memory.
Okay, think about it.
I'm also thinking.
I'm going with Kapil Dev, 175.
Tunbridge Wells.
Tunbridge Well. The greatest knock ever
Zimbabwe.
played.
Which was never televised.
Yeah.
Greatest knock ever played.
It actually gives credence to that phrase, no? The old phrase, the revolution shall be televised. It wasn't in this case, but that really was what started the revolution.
Yeah. 17 for 5.
17 for 5, yes.
17
266
5.
for 8.
And you're talking about today's performance.
2 for
right?
3.
17 for 5, and that was a seam friendly pitch. Kevin Curran was almost unplayable, the father of Sam Curran.
Sam and
Sam,
Power
yeah.
He was unplayable, English, typical, and in those days you got English conditions.
Yeah.
The ball would move.
And it was a red ball.
It was a red ball.
Red ball, yeah.
Ball was doing its thing, almost impossible. Impossible. Even the great technician like Sunny Gavaskar found it tough to bat on that condition. And that's where he comes and single-handedly takes you to the semi-final.
They say, I think it was Mondar Amarnath, I think, who once said that, he saw probably one of the longest sixes. I think that day his sixes were landing
but
somewhere else.
just-
That's how good his timing was that day.
Just 2 days ago, we were talking about it, and Mr. Gavaskar, who's right here right now,
Yes.
and that's why I had to run to get him his dinner. He mentioned just 2 days ago we were talking about that knock, and he says, because now you have to rely on eyewitness accounts since he was there.
Yep.
He mentioned how even someone like Kapil Dev, who was just naturally aggressive, who could not hold himself back. I mean, think of Surya Kumar into 2, as in whenever there was a ball to hit, he would hit.
He'd bat.
He just could not curtail his aggressive instincts. That man, he said, for his first 60-70 runs, did not hit a ball up in the air.
Yep.
He kept playing straight. He said, I may have hit it in the air, but he wasn't trying to. He said he played his drives, he played his natraj, but the regular shots, nothing.
Yeah.
It's only after 60-70 when he was well set, he knew the condition, what's happening when you start seeing the ball. That's when he started tonking
Yeah.
it.
To add to that, I
then it
remember
went outside.
I remember reading, and of course, because again, this is an entire thing you've read of eyewitness accounts and people writing. But back in those days, you were 60 over matches. You'd have a lunch break in between.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
after the 35th over.
yes. So after the 35th over lunch break was when Kapil said, "No, now I'll go aggressive." Before that, he was being circumspect by his own standards.
You know, and since I've written a book on the 1983 World Cup, please buy that. It's called Miracle Men, available on Amazon. There was, there was, and this is not mentioned a lot of places, but this was something when I was doing my interviews for the book. The late Yashpal Sharma told me that this is, he says a lot of people miss this point, but he said if you check out the old match reports, you will realize that there was a point that Kapil hit a ball which got lost. Okay, it went into the whatever, it was a village sort of a ground and it went into the bushes or something. They could not find the ball. He says it's actually after that batting became easier, because if you know, sometime it happens, right? There's a change of ball, and the earlier ball's doing a bit extra and the ball gets changed. And so he says that kind of helped him accelerate. So and which is true. So maybe that's when he started.
And we all tend to
We all saw that
forget.
very recently in the
Ashes also,
When
yeah.
the change of ball really
Exactly.
turned things around.
Imagine, turn the clock back.
And imagine, Kapil Dev's effort was so monumental that you tend to forget the support that he got from Syed Kirmani.
Yeah.
Kirmani
Even
played on
Madan Lal.
Madan Lal,
To an
yes.
extent. Who was also outside.
Of course. Two of those
Legends.
legends are there outside. Yep, along with one more who helped us win the 2011 World Cup.
Legend as well.
Yep, 2011 World Cup.
A little legend.
Chinnathala.
Chinnathala, yep.
Chinnathala has gone though.
Oh,
Anyway.
Can't.
Okay?
Oh, favorite, yeah. You guys haven't picked.
Oh my god. I will be very predictable and say Dhoni.
Dhoni, okay.
Of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
2011, yeah?
2011, Dhoni
I'm thinking
finishes
of
off
that.
in style.
India lift the World Cup
India
after
lift the World Cup.
28 years.
I think I have a thing for that Ponting 100.
2003, Johannesburg.
Of all knocks.
Yeah, I was just wondering
Greater.
which 100 is he talking about?
A close second would be Ben Stokes' 84. Lords 2019.
Yeah, it's a
Actually, yeah, I agree.
good,
very,
good
very
shout
good
out.
call.
It was.
UB's in quarterfinal 57 against
Oh yeah, very memorable.
Absolutely.
Actually-
In fact, Sachin's 98 Centurion.
Centurion,
No,
yes.
I you know, only one reason I'll disagree with your knock. He had springs in his bat.
All the more reason that I recall it that way, because I was a little kid back then, and this whole theory about everyone wanting a Kookaburra bat, everyone just
9 years old.
The school
Yeah.
Dissecting
chatter was
the
all
bat.
about having
Springs
half
in the
tennis
bat.
ball in your under
That was
your glove.
2007.
That was
Squash.
2007,
That was
squash
squash ball.
Squash ball. So those 4-5 years when Australia were dominating, you all wanted a Kookaburra bat, all wanted to do everything that they were doing.
Kookaburra ball, you mean?
Yeah.
Kookaburra
No,
bat.
Bad,
What
bad.
did you use?
Was a Slazenger bat,
No,
wasn't it?
Kookaburra.
Kookaburra.
Yeah,
What
with
do you
that,
use?
with
I thought it
that
was-
bird and the.
Yeah, I thought it was a Slazenger.
That's a
sorry.
Kookaburra bird.
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying. With the bird and this, with the Kookaburra bat. That's what I'm trying to say.
I thought it was a Slazenger that you used.
No.
No, Karthik K sends us a couple of super chats. First, he's saying that what a masterclass chase from KL and Virat. Win like this and then get Gill back makes India very dangerous. KL at 5, brilliant. I made fun of him and I send my apologies. Thank you.
Come on! Yeah. Stand up!
Yep.
Good! Nice of you.
And now he's
I like
on to his
that.
big NFL day.
I
Good on
like
him.
that.
Yep.
I like that. Good. Good on you.
And he picks Sachin's, of course, 97, you mean 98, but yeah.
98, yeah.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that upper.
Uppercut.
This same bat.
Yes!
Oh, he explained how he did
Just a
that.
reminder,
With this.
that uppercut that he hit of Shoaib Akhtar, which is one of the most iconic shots. He recreated that in one of our interviews, which is also up on Sports Today. He recreated that, the man himself, the god of cricket, using this
bat.
This
exact
particular
same
bat. Yes.
Did you see in the studio?
Touched by God himself.
The bat grip is very valuable.
Exactly. It is. It is. So, please do the honors.
No, I'm not doing any honors.
You said it, so that is why.
I thought it would slide under the radar. Clearly not.
You didn't want it to be flown under the radar. You didn't want it to be flown under the radar.
No, I did. It was like one of those things that will just get everyone to giggle. Clearly not.
Yeah, clearly not. On to my big NFL day. Okay, now I'll go for my big rugby day. Yes.
Just drifting away a little from cricket, I don't want to do it. A bit of an upset of sorts that's happened in the Premier League.
No, we don't want to listen to it.
Arsenal are winning.
Got the winner. Arsenal managed a 1-0 win against City.
Oh my God, Noel is going to be crazy tomorrow.
He just messaged.
Oh my God, he's going to be crazy tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank God you're off.
I know, you have to listen to it.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, Cobra Head, clearly that's not his real
Yeah.
name. Or her, we don't know.
Yeah.
Question is South Africa or New Zealand, tougher team to beat? Good
New
question.
Zealand.
I'm going with New Zealand. too.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
South Africa, they have that propensity to bottle it.
But
So
also, sometimes you look at matchups. So not necessarily that I'm saying New Zealand is necessarily better than South Africa. I'm just saying in terms of matchup, and I'm guessing the question is, which is the team that India will find tougher to beat? So I'm just looking at the matchup, and I think New
And
Zealand.
I
could
think
work
they
with
have
it.
the right team for this kind
Yes,
of conditions.
yes, exactly.
Even the kind of hammering that, despite all of that score that they put the other day, 428, the hammering that the South African bowlers got from Sri Lanka, I was a little worried for their bowling attack. Also, I think they're very depleted now without the services of Andrik Nokia. I think that's really weakened this South African side. Nokia, you add him here, changes the whole thing altogether.
But I think they have the firepower still. I think Ngidi will be
Look
the
at
key
New Zealand
factor.
on the other hand, without Tim Southee, they still look very strong.
Yeah, and remember, even Lockie Ferguson was injured.
Exactly.
And there is a Kyle Jameson to look up to in that case.
But
Because
he's only a reserve as things stand.
yeah, he's a traveling reserve at this point.
Okay,
So.
Cobra Head says I'm a he.
He.
interesting then.
But that's not your name. Now,
Yeah.
please come up with your real name.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Sachin Kashyap talks about Pat Cummins' captaincy was horrendous. I
Yeah.
agree. Exactly what we spoke about. Removed Hazelwood 4th over. Zampa late introduction in 20th. But I think Zampa. Maybe if you got him early, maybe if Virat was a bit tentative, we got him late. But actually, it was his first over that released the pressure. From
Yes.
India.
Yeah.
13 runs that he gave away. Never quite looked. And see, that is the interesting bit between two teams. And I think they played to their strengths. That India with their spinners look so dangerous.
Yeah.
And Australia with their spinners just don't look threatening at all.
Don't look. Yep.
And Australia with their fast bowlers look threatening. But I guess that also had to do with the conditions that Australian fast bowlers bowling under light
Yeah.
got a bit. And then the pitch also probably became slightly better to bat on against the spinners. I'm guessing if there was a little bit of dew and those, under lights, the ball probably wasn't gripping as much earlier. So
Yep.
I think it just played to both teams' strengths. India would have been happier bowling up front and Australia happier bowling second, and I think that's why they won the toss and decided to do that. But in the end, the superior team.
One.
The better team won. The team with the right team combination. The
Yeah.
combination that they picked, it worked.
And handsomely.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. I mean,
Why did it
bit
take that long?
bit of a stutter at the start.
Yeah.
But
Great
still,
day.
I mean, admit it. I mean, you were all worried.
Yeah,
But
we were
that's where the fun lies. To come back when your chips are down.
It happened even in Mumbai. I mean, they were also 3 or 4 down for 34 in chasing 200 in March. And it was KL Rahul and the others who bailed you out at that point in time also. So, Australia had a premonition of it, but it's hurt them again in Chennai. It's hurt them big way. And so, it's a great start, which has given us plenty of confidence and momentum in this 2023 World Cup. It has. And remember, you are going to see a similar kind of a confidence. We are seeing against Afghanistan, you are expected to win. I and Gargi, when we are doing the build up for Pakistan versus Netherlands, we already said with this Pakistan lineup, I don't think it is difficult to say it will be 8-0. India 8, Pakistan 0 on 14th.
Hey, don't. I'm happy India has won, and I think India will start favourite.
I mean,
But
this
this is
Pakistan.
what happens. We'll keep saying 8-0 on the day Pakistan beat you.
And then we'll be
Do
doing
you
outrage.
really
Yeah.
think this Pakistan
No,
lineup
I
can be
am
intimidating?
They're a good enough team, I
saying
feel.
India
They're a good
start
enough
the favourite for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to write them off. It's not like you're not playing associate nation.
See, we never wrote
Not.
them off until 2011. Until 2011, 15, you knew they were a team that did not have the firepower. The same problem is in 2019, same problem in
15 and
2020.
19 were two different teams.
Even 23.
15 to
23.
And today, let's not forget, just to show you the strength of this Indian team, where they bounced back from, they didn't play their most informed batter in ODI cricket, in Shubman Gill today.
But that was also because forced, they couldn't play
Yeah,
them.
I'm just saying.
Doesn't matter if it was
Tells
forced
you-
or not.
you add him in the mix.
I'm not saying
and
who
the
can
whole-
drop him, yeah, it had to be forced.
No, we'll do workload rotation now.
Exactly.
Test करेंगे.
हाँ, टेस्ट करते हैं कि हम
Can Ishan bat well in the top of the order now?
He can.
No, not with that.
Century, then century, then Glaston, then
That's a good question by Arun Tej. Saying, is Delhi going to be a batting deck against Afghanistan? South Africa scored 428.
Will most likely be.
100%. 100%.
Are we sure? Like there are multiple strips, right?
100% will be get a batting track. 100%.
Let's see. You dish out batting tracks is only going to help India, I feel.
No, also depends on opposition. Why will you not dish out a batting track today? Because you know that this Australian team, if they had batted first on a track like Delhi, could have also got 400.
Correct.
And on a given day, I'm not saying that Indian batting is any weak, but if there is one area where you don't think India would be, and forget India, any team if you're chasing 400 more often than not, you're going to lose, right? No matter how good a batting is. So I think they just took that out of the equation. This sort of a track would have kind of benefited India more than Australia, because Australia's strength, as I said, is their batting.
But
right?
I think that
And it's a
losing
team
the
that
toss
can get
was a
forward.
blessing in disguise over here today.
No, but I'm saying even if they were chasing.
Because if India were to bat first here, I think India would have also struggled to put the runs on the board.
No, sure, but I'm saying, but that is with this pitch now. You
Yeah.
asked whether if it was a batting track or not. If it's a batting track, then you are exposing yourself to that one area where you're not going to always be good at. I think India is a team that will consistently keep getting, and that's their strength. I think they can get in that range of 300 to 350 more often than any other team.
Yeah,
more
yeah.
often
Like
than
we touched upon the
Australia,
other day.
England,
Yeah.
South Africa, more often. But unlike South Africa, England, and New Zealand to that extent, where those are teams that can get you 400, India may not be able to get 400 that often. So this is the kind of range that suits them. So as soon as you give a batting track to someone like Australia and even allow them that I would have chance to get to 400, you're sitting ducks then. You lost the game. To a low scoring game. But when you play Afghanistan with their 2.5 batters, or how many ever batters we counted last time, then you give them a batting track. Because you know, even if they have a very good day, they aren't getting 400. So
Correct.
they're never in that trouble. You won't want to give a flat batting track to South Africa, England and Australia. Everyone else and New Zealand.
New Zealand to an extent. Yeah.
Though you might be giving them one in Dharamshala, but I don't know. The outfield is an issue.
Outfield
but I think
is
the track
poor.
is
The
good.
track is fine. The track is
Which is why I said that New Zealand game could be a tricky one for India, because if it's a batting track, then on that one day that New Zealand notch of 400, then you're in trouble, because your batting lineup is happy between 300 350. 400 is going to be tough. Forget for India anything.
Siddharth, by the way, has given us a very tough exercise, I would say. He says, hello everyone, please just make a Cricket World Cup best right-handers versus left-handers 11 and which one will win.
No, not for today.
Yeah.
Dugout topic.
After the World
It's a
Cup.
proper exercise.
After the World Cup.
Yeah. Ronak is saying after winning everything seems fine, but had that catch been taken off Australia, 40 more runs.
Or they got 40 more runs, is what he's saying.
Yeah, absolutely. We said that. So two things which are turning points in this game. One, Jadeja getting Steve Smith out.
Yep.
Yes.
Because had he not got him out, they would have got those 40 more runs for sure.
Yeah.
And the second, Mitch Marsh dropping Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli.
Those two things.
A 10-year saga.
I, by the way, think even though Virat Kohli didn't get us 100 today, but again, the fact that he shut down the pressure and he was your main man, the opposition knew that the 1.3 billion and beyond watching the match knew that. I think his stock price again hit that circuit breaker today. Because if it were for that catch, had it been taken, I think India would have lost.
Maybe.
Given where they were.
Yep. It was a very, very precarious situation at that point in time.
King to the rescue.
King to the rescue and KL to the rescue.
KL to the rescue, absolutely.
Absolutely. So,
Shall we call it a night?
Yes.
yep.
We've gone on for very long, but thank you so much for your company. Once again, what a fantastic Sunday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you joined us late, we were on for more than an hour, so you
Yes.
can
Yeah.
rewind back, check out all the
Yep.
discussion. We're going to be live again tomorrow with lots more reactions and analysis on India's victory. So
More
join us
videos coming up
tomorrow.
in the next 1 hour.
Yeah, lots of more interesting videos coming up on Sports Today. Also, before I forget, the analysis by Suresh Raina and Sunny Gavaskar on this game will be up on Sports Today shortly.
Yep.
I hope so. So you can check that out as well, where they point out exactly the reason why Jadeja was very successful. What is it that Virat did right today? What is it that KL did right today, which is
Yes.
what helped them, post these match-winning scores. So if you like in-depth analysis, so look forward to
Yep.
that. It will be up very shortly.
Celebrating Australia's first loss ever in Chepauk in the
Is
World
this
Cup.
Gargi's last
Yes.
show?
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
So, just so that Gargi can say bye, you want to say something
Please.
to
Family
folks on, there are about 700 people watching you, so what would you want to
Of
tell
course, I mean the last 6 months have been amazing. I got to learn a lot from every one of
them?
you.
No, not for us, for them.
Keep watching Sports Today.
Lovely.
Yes,
Much better.
more subscribers.
Okay.
By the time this World Cup ends, we should hit
300.
300k.
Oof.
Okay.
Yeah,
God willing, fingers crossed.
let's do it.
Okay.
Everything.
Oh,
Yes.
how was Rutu doing it the other time? He was doing it like this.
Who?
Yeah. This was-
All fingers crossed.
All fingers crossed.
This is.
When he was asked to make his
Acha
World
nahi.
Cup prediction, that.
Oh boy.
that's
So
easy.
we here at Sports Today would want to wish Kargi all the best.
All
Wish
the
she
best.
have a great future, a very successful one at that, and we'll miss her here. But the party continues, so join us from tomorrow. As I mentioned, lots more things coming up. Anything else?
That's it.
Good night. Bye bye. You want to say something?
No, I'm good.
Vanakkam,
Good night,
Nandri.
Bye bye. Vanakkam. Since the game was in Chennai.
Exactly.
Yes,
Thank you, Chenmai. You were nice, as always.
Yeah.
you're nice.
Also thank them.
You're always nice.
Hmm?